The fourth question, a sinking sensation. You've been on a cruise for 2 days when there's an accident that forces everyone on board to abandon ship. During the evacuation, one of the boats is damaged, leaving you with a hole that fills it with water. You figure that with 10 people in the boat, you can keep the boat afloat by having 9 people scoop the filling water out by hand for 10 minutes while the 10th person rests. After that person's 10-minute rest, he or she will get back to work while another person rests, and so on. This should keep the boat from sinking long enough for a rescue team to find you as long as it happens within 5 hours. You're taking your first break when you notice your best friend in a sound lifeboat with only 9 people in it, and he beckons you to swim over and join them so you won't have to keep bailing out water. If you leave the people in the sinking boat, they will only be able to stay afloat for 2 hours instead of 5, decreasing their chance of being rescued, but securing yours. What do you do? Alright, I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't mean to sound messed up or anything, but I am most definitely jumping ship and joining my friend.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
One sub equals one life saved. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 9 moral dilemmas that will break your brain by BuzzFeed. So me and my friends often have conversations about moral dilemmas and stuff. So I just thought it'd be pretty fun to just check it out, see some moral dilemmas and give my opinion on it and give my take on it. You know what I'm saying? Because I have 300 IQ. So yeah. The first question is your best friend's wedding. Well, yeah. You are at your best friend's wedding just an hour before the ceremony is to start. Earlier that day, you came across definitive proof that your best friend's spouse-to-be is having an affair with the best man/maid of honor, and you catch him sneaking out of a room altogether, looking disleveled. If you tell your friend about the affair, their day will be ruined, but you don't want them to marry a cheater. What do? You either tell your best friend, sure their day will be ruined, but better a day ruined than an entire life, or say nothing. Your job is to be supportive and participate in your friend's happiness. Alright, I feel like this is an easy question. I would definitely tell my friend, because just being with the cheater, imagine the feeling he'll have knowing that he's gonna be with that cheater 20 years from now. I could not personally take that, and seeing my friend marry someone who is cheating on him with the man of honor is crazy. So I feel like it's better to just tell them, even though the wedding will be ruined. I think he'll be mad at me at first, but be appreciative that I told him about it, and you know what I'm saying, make sure that he knows that he's not with the right person. You feel me? Question number 2. You're an eyewitness to a crime. A man has robbed a bank, but instead of keeping the money for himself, he donates it to a poor orphanage that can now afford to feed, clothe, and care for its children. You know who committed the crime, and if you go to the authorities with the information, there's a good chance the money will be returned to the bank, leaving a lot of kids in need. What do? You either turn the robber into the authorities, right is right, or say nothing since the money went to what you deem a good cause. Well, in this situation, right, of course the man robbing the bank is really bad, but I feel because he did it for a good cause of helping the orphanage, helping children that don't have parents and stuff, I feel like I wouldn't snitch, you know what I'm saying? Because of course wrong is wrong, right? But he's doing it for such a good cause, and I believe that if you're willing to sacrifice and risk your life for a good cause, then it's okay. And the fact that he's not using the money for himself and being selfish and donating to the children just makes you think that, you know what, maybe it's better to just not say anything. Because even though the bank in this situation is harmed, it's the bank is supporting children, and I feel that wouldn't be a bad thing necessarily. All right, we have our next question. Company policy. You have a job as a network administrator for a company that also employs your best friend's husband. One day, your best friend's husband sends you a message asking you to release an email from quarantine. This requires you to open the email, at which point you discover that it's correspondence between this guy and his secret lover. After releasing the email, you find yourself in a pickle. Your instinct is to tell your best friend about his husband's infidelities, but divulging the contents of company emails is against company policy, and you could lose your job. Once it becomes plain that your best friend found out about his cheating husband through a company email, all trails will inevitably lead to you as a leak. Do you tell him about the indiscretion? Either yes, your loyalty to your best friend eclipses any company policy, or no, it sucks that your best friend has a cheating husband, but you can't risk losing your job. I feel like this is such a hard question because you're literally risking your job, different from previously, where I'm not losing anything in the situation, right? So I think I wouldn't risk losing my job because my job is my future, and at that point in my life when I'm working at a company, I'm probably gonna have children and a family, and of course my best friend means everything to me, but losing my stable income and losing the opportunity to pay for my bills, I feel is way too much stress to handle. So I think that it's better for me, at least me personally, I would just not say anything because I need to make sure that my family and my kids can be supported. You've been on a cruise for 2 days when there's an accident that forces everyone on board to abandon ship. During the evacuation, one of the boats is damaged, leaving you with a hole that fills it with water. You figure that with 10 people in the boat, you can keep the boat afloat by having 9 people scoop the filling water out by hand for 10 minutes while the 10th person rests. After that person's 10-minute rest, he or she will get back to work while another person rests, and so on. This should keep the boat from sinking long enough for a rescue team to find you as long as it happens within 5 hours. You're taking your first break when you notice your best friend in a sound lifeboat with only 9 people in it, and he beckons you to swim over and join them so you won't have to keep yelling out water. If you leave the people in the sinking boat, they will only be able to stay afloat for 2 hours instead of 5, decreasing their chance of being rescued, but securing yours. What do you do? Alright, I'm gonna be completely honest, like, I don't mean to sound messed up or anything, but I am most definitely jumping ship and joining my friend.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Question 5. The Accidental Samaritan. You're involved in a 2-car crash on your way to work one morning in which you accidentally hit and kill a pedestrian. As you get out of the car, you're intercepted by a tearful woman who seems to think that she hit and killed the pedestrian. You're not sure why she thinks that she hit the person, but she is convinced. There's only you, the woman, and the person you hit on the road. There are no witnesses. You know that whoever is deemed responsible will probably be sent to jail. What do? You either confess your responsibility, you wouldn't be able to live with the guilt of an innocent person being in jail for a crime you committed, or let the woman take the blame. The thought of being locked away from your life and family is too much to bear. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not snitching on myself. Like, snitching is already crazy enough, but opping on yourself is even crazier. And like, of course, like, I'll feel guilty knowing that I killed a person and everything like that, but like, the thought of me being in jail for the rest of my life is crazy. Like, and I feel like it's kind of on her fault. Like, she thinks she's so stupid enough to believe that she did it. So yeah, I just can't imagine myself like opping on myself and spending my entire life in jail, because that's just something I can't do. Question 6. A day at the beach. Your family's vacationing alone on a private stretch of beach with no lifeguard. Your daughter and your niece, both 7, are best friends and eager to get into the water. You caution them to wait until the water calms some, but they defy you and sneak in anyway. You see and hear screams of distress and find them both caught in a strong current. You're the only swimmer strong enough to save them, but you can only save one at a time. Your niece is a very poor swimmer and likely won't make it much longer. Your daughter is a strong swimmer, but only has a 50% chance of holding on long enough for you to come back for her. Who do you save first? Either save your daughter first, you know that your niece will probably die, but you can't bear to lose your child, or save your niece first and hope that your daughter can hold on long enough for you to come back to her. Okay, this is a hard question because it's like, even though it feels like a random person instead of your niece, and it'd be so easy, right? Because it's like a niece, it's kind of like a risk factor. But either way, I think I'll save my daughter first, because of course my niece and I'll probably love her or him at that point, but it's like, it's my daughter, man. Like, I would not be able to bear losing my daughter. Like, daughter's crazy. Like, if my niece, like, I'll be really sad and it'd be unfortunate, but like, to know that I had the opportunity to save my daughter and I couldn't save her, like, I don't think I'd be able to live with that. Question 7. The spouse and the lover. You are an EMT on the scene of a car crash that involves your spouse and the lover you didn't know she had. They are both gravely injured. Your spouse's injury is the worst of them. You can tell it's unlikely she will pull through. Meanwhile, his or her lover has a neck wound that will prove fatal if pressure isn't applied soon. Whom do you choose to work on? Work on your spouse, even though she or he cheated and probably won't pull through. Your loyalty lies with them. Or work on his/her lover. They can definitely be saved, and even though you may hate them, saving them is your job. If my spouse or wife was cheating on me with another man and they both got in a car accident, like, if I had the option, I wouldn't save neither. I'm not joking. Kind of joking, but if I had to choose, I would probably save my spouse, because at the end of the day, I do still love her, probably, if I was dating them. And like, I would not want to save the person that like my wife has been getting with, like smashing with. Like, that's disgusting. So I'd rather just save my spouse. And it is my lover at the end of the day. Question 8. A difficult decision. You and your son are prisoners at a concentration camp. Your son tried to escape but was recaptured and sentenced to hang at the gallows. To send a message to all others who may try to escape, the guard orders you to pull the chair out from under your son, and if you refuse, the guard will kill your son and another innocent person in the camp. What do you do? Tearfully pull the chair out from under your son, or refuse to pull the chair out from under your son, ensuring both his death and the death of another inmate? Like, I'm sorry, but like, if I was at a concentration camp, like, I'd rather just die, you know what I'm saying? So like, at that point, I'd rather just die anyway. Like, I would not want to die knowing that I killed my son, so I might as well just kill an innocent victim. Like, of course that sucks, but like, I'm already at that point in life, I already want to die if I'm at a concentration camp, and like, having the guilt of like killing your own son and having the opportunity that doesn't happen. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't imagine myself like pulling that chair and killing him. I just can't do something like that. It's my fucking son, man. Okay, the final question. A doctor's dilemma. You are a doctor at a top hospital. You have 6 gravely ill patients, 5 of whom are in urgent need of organ transplants. You can't help them, though, because there are no available organs that can be used to save their lives. The 6th patient, however, will die without a particular medicine. If she or he dies, you'll be able to save the other 5 patients by using the organs of patient 6 who was an organ donor. What do? Keep patient 6 comfortable, but do not give him the medical care that can save his life in order to save the other 5 patients. Or save patient 6 and let the other 5 die. It's unfortunate, but that's not your call to make. If I'm ignoring company policy and everything like that, and like I actually had a decision to make for myself, then I'll probably do the first option because it sucks to die, of course, but like I feel like anyone who has a decent heart would understand that like sacrificing their life would save so many other people. And I feel like at that point, patient 6's life, he'd be okay with the fact that like he's gonna be sacrificing himself to save other people who'd be like eternally grateful for him. So like if I had the choice, I'd probably keep patient 6 comfortable and not give him the medical care so he can save the other 5 patients. Because I mean, like I said before, my other question, like I feel like it's so impressive for you to sacrifice yourself and your own well-being for the others. So I think the option 1 was the best option. Thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. If you want to see more video like this, make sure to comment and let me know what you would answer to some of these questions, because you know we all have different opinions. But anyways, I appreciate you guys checking out the video. It means a lot. And yeah, have a great day. Sub or these questions will happen to you in real life.